The Sammy C Show reported months ago that we had uncovered through a whistleblower employed at the 383rd District Court that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia had attempted to tamper with an M-panel jury and attempted to coerce the jury into changing its verdict on a child custody case. This report caused an extreme and intense reaction not only by Judge Lyda Ness Garcia, but also by El Paso attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma, a current sitting member of the El Paso Bar Association Board of Directors. We have found that in response to the news report, local attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma, bar number 24062846, did collude with sitting District Judge Lyda Ness Garcia to have Sammy Correjo unlawfully and falsely arrested under fabricated evidence and fraudulent court documents. Further, we have uncovered that sitting District Judge Lyda Ness Garcia attempted to pressure former El Paso District Attorney Bill Hicks into arresting Sammy Correjo under fabricated criminal charges in retaliation for the news report published by the Sammy C Show. Court documents, court records, witness statements, witness testimony, and victim statements corroborate the following series of events. We have uncovered that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia colluded with attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma to manufacture a fraudulent subpoena to have Sammy Correjo arrested for failure to appear. What we found is that the fraudulent subpoena served on Sammy Correjo stated a specific date to appear before Judge Lyda Ness Garcia. Judge Lyda Ness Garcia then held a hearing on a different date that Sammy Correjo was not aware of. This action by Judge Lyda Ness Garcia forced Sammy Correjo to miss the court hearing. Judge Lyda Ness Garcia then claimed non-compliance and failure to appear and then issued a warrant for Sammy Correjo's arrest. We will show that the subpoena written and used by attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma to bring Sammy Correjo before the 383rd District Court does not conform to the rules set forth by law as required for a lawful subpoena. We will also show that the fraudulent subpoena is the same subpoena that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia acted upon when she issued a fraudulent warrant for Sammy Correjo's arrest. On or about June 13, 2024, Sammy Correjo was served with process demanding that he report to the 383rd District Court on June 24, 2024, to answer a subpoena regarding a video published by the Sammy C Show about Judge Lyda Ness Garcia. Opposing counsel, attorney Abby Lane, objected to the calling of Sammy Correjo as he had absolutely nothing to do with the case at hand and was aggressively overruled. On Friday, June 21, 2024, Sammy Correjo received a message from an employee of the 383rd District Court informing him that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia had issued a warrant for his arrest for failure to appear and warned him not to go to the courthouse. Court records and witness testimony state that on Friday, June 21, 2024, a hearing was held in the 383rd District Court in El Paso, Texas, before Judge Lyda Ness Garcia. Judge Lyda Ness Garcia called the case, and both attorneys made their presence known for the record. Without any prompt from Judge Lyda Ness Garcia, attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma immediately jumped up and stated that Sammy Correjo was not in the courtroom or outside in the lobby. Judge Lyda Ness Garcia, without questioning Veronica Lerma's interruption, immediately issued a warrant for Sammy Correjo for failure to appear and had a sheriff's deputies at the ready in the courtroom. When attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma stated that Sammy Correjo was not in the courtroom or outside opposing counsel, attorney Abby Lane objected and informed the court that Sammy Correjo was not scheduled to testify today and that the date on the subpoena was for June 25, 2024, and the date of June 21, 2024 being used by attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma was wrong. Judge Lyda Ness Garcia then aggressively responded by asking attorney Abby Lane if she was now representing Sammy Correjo. If not, then to just shut up. Sammy Correjo immediately contacted his attorney, Judge Mike Herrera, who verified with the court that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia had issued a warrant for Sammy Correjo's arrest for failure to appear. This entire criminal scheme was set into motion by Judge Lyda Ness Garcia and attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma for one simple purpose: retaliation and revenge against the Sammy C Show for reporting the truth. Such was witnessed and reported by opposing counsel attorney Abby Lane in her motion to recuse Judge Lyda Ness Garcia when she stated the following. The judge went off the record and shared with the parties that the witness, Mr. Correjo, has accused her of being a homewrecker and going so far as calling her daughter despicable names. Opposing counsel attorney Abby Lane goes further in her motion and states the following. The judge held a motions hearing wherein she engaged in an extrajudicial independent investigation of facts of the case and overstepped her judicial authority by issuing a standing order without motion by either party. The judge announced to the parties that she had become aware of an alleged video that discloses confidential information about the case. The video alluded to by the court seems to be a video posted by Sammy Correjo from his social media platform, The Sammy C Show, that depicts the judge and the amicus attorney in a particularly negative light, remarks on the mishandling of the case by the judge, and includes procedural history that seemed to follow the fact pattern for this case, but discloses no identifying information of the parties or the child subject of the suit. Attorney Abby Lane goes further in her motion and states the following. The courtroom was preemptively and uncharacteristically staffed with sheriff officers awaiting the witness's arrival, Sammy Correjo. The judge's haste to call the hearing out of order and issue a writ of attachment on a void subpoena demonstrates her bias towards a subject matter disputed in the case and injected into the case by the judge herself. The court prioritized securing the witness, Sammy Correjo, who prepared and published the video, over the due process rights of the litigant in her courtroom. Sammy Correjo was ultimately saved from a wrongful arrest by the presiding judge for the 6th District, Judge Stephen Abels, who ruled that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia did not have jurisdiction over Sammy Correjo as he was not a party nor material to the case at hand, and therefore the subpoena was not valid. A close look at the subpoena created and issued by attorney Veronica Teresa Lerma does not conform to the requirements set forth by law and therefore makes the document fraudulent, as its service of process was intended to deceive Sammy Correjo and to induce him into showing up for court on a false date. These factual statements further serve as evidence that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia did act knowingly and wantonly and clearly demonstrated the mens rea and actus reus when she knowingly went off record in the middle of a hearing whose ultimate goal was the wrongful arrest of Sammy Correjo. Judge Lyda Ness Garcia's actions demand that she and Veronica Teresa Lerma be immediately investigated for any and all possible criminal actions against Sammy Correjo. We have further uncovered an even more disgraceful and dangerous criminal action taken by Judge Lyda Ness Garcia against Sammy Correjo. Witness statements and the victim's statement corroborate the following. On or about November 15, 2024, Sammy Correjo was warned in person by Renee Diaz, Chief of Staff, to former El Paso County District Attorney Bill Hicks, that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia had visited District Attorney Bill Hicks's office and had tried to coerce Bill Hicks into having Sammy Correjo falsely arrested. When Bill Hicks asked Judge Lyda Ness Garcia to arrest him for what reason, her answer was, just come up with something. Luckily for Sammy Correjo, Bill Hicks refused Judge Lyda Ness Garcia's demand. A few weeks later, Sammy Correjo received a phone call from his attorney, Judge Mike Herrera, who corroborated that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia was in fact trying to force Bill Hicks to have him arrested, and that he needed to be very careful and not go near the courthouse. Further corroboration following that warning, a couple of months later, Sammy Correjo was contacted by different individuals with connections to Bill Hicks and Judge Lyda Ness Garcia, warning Sammy Correjo that Judge Lyda Ness Garcia was, in fact, trying to force Bill Hicks to have him falsely arrested. We here at the Sammy C Show are very concerned about this abuse of power and criminal activity by a sitting judge. We have contacted state and federal law enforcement and have followed all proper channels in an attempt to protect Sammy Correjo. The purpose of this video is not only to inform the citizens of El Paso, Texas, about the actions of a sitting district judge, but also to protect Sammy Correjo from wrongful arrest and further judicial misconduct.
The Sammy C Show, citizen journalist and judicial activist.